Hello and welcome back to Code with Chuck. Today we will be taking a look at SQL injections using DVWA. Before we get started, let's take a look at some theory. What exactly do you mean by SQL injections? Here I have the SQL injection page open on W3 Schools. They are defining SQL injection as SQL injection is a code which injection technique that might destroy your database. Let's scroll down and see what exactly this means. See, for example, you visit a website and you see text fields or any form that takes input from the user like this, right? On the back end, they're getting the text from these text fields and concatenating that with an SQL query and running it on the server. And after that, the SQL, after this input, the SQL query looks like this. Select from user when name is John Doe and password is my pass. Now that seems okay, right? But what if instead of these inputs you enter something like this? Well, on the back end, this translates to select from users where name is equal to nothing or nothing equals to nothing. Now, this might be false and password is equal to nothing might be false, but because of the OR statement and this part here, this is always true. So, this statement returns every user. It returns all the information for every user. SQL injection can be used to do for more things as well. For example, this query. If the and the back at the back end you're executing some query like select static from users, and the user uses the input field to add a query like drop table suppliers, that would drop the entire table of supplies, erase all your data as well. Now let's go to DVWA and see some of it practically. I have DVWA open on my local host right here. We'll go to SQL injections. Here if I type 1 and submit, this returns the first name and last name for this user ID. But here's where the fun part begins. This is the SQL query and I can modify it to do some interesting things. First of all, let's start with a simple query and try to see what database is being used. So I type in one small code union select database comma version minus minus plus and you press enter. You see the results. So now it's giving me the output as database name DVWA and 10.4.17 MariaDB as the database. You can do further things as well. For example, let's try and see what tables are there in this database. So for that, we will use the same syntax for the query. Here, after id is equal to 1, just type in a single quote again, and the query is union select 1 comma tables from information underscore schema dot tables minus minus plus. Alright, let's try that again. So you write the same query again. Here instead of table, let's write table name. Now this gives you all the tables in the database, right? And now the next step is to access information from these tables, right? So how you do that is you take any single table from here. What table should we take a look at? You can take a look at expenses, revenue, you can access the entire database using this method. I've already taken a table user from these, and for the query to access the table information, let's try that. Alright, so you type in one here. After one, you type in your query, and it's union select one column name from information underscore schema dot columns with table name is equal to character parentheses and some weird code minus minus plus. You might be wondering what this is. Well, it's simple. This is the code the table name encrypted in decimal. So how you will do this? Here's this website, crypto.com/pipes slash text to decimal. You type in the table name here, which I have, it's user, and here it's encrypted into decimal. So just copy paste it from there, get back to your website, and in your query, you type that encrypted decimals here. But instead of the spaces, you replace them with commas. Now hit enter. This gives you the entire, all the columns for the table user. You can use the same method and different to execute different queries. You can get the user passwords as well and further things. But that's all for this video. Or maybe I can show you guys how to check the user passwords as well. Let's try to do that. So it's a simple query. Just let's reset this. Come here, type union select user, that's a table name, dot password from, you type in the table name again, minus minus plus, and hit enter. And this is telling me that the table DVWA.user does not exist. Let's try that again. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to type the query again here. Single quotes, union, select users, you got to type in one comma, users dot password from users minus minus plus. Press enter. Here you'll see in the surname portion you get this thing, and this is the encrypted password. You can decrypt this by copy pasting it and going to this site md5online.org. I click on decryption. Wait for it to open. You can just copy paste this into the text field here and it will decrypt the password for you. But that's just an example of how powerful SQL injections can be. You can access the user information, their passwords, the accounts information for the database. You can access the entire database. You can even delete information. You can, in essence, you can execute any SQL query if the web application that you're targeting is vulnerable to that. So here we have md5online.org. I'm just going to type the password that we got from there and hit this button and it will decrypt it for you. So that's all for this lecture on SQL injections. Feel free to leave any comment if you have any more questions and subscribe to the channel would be great. Let me know what other topic you want a tutorial about. That's all for this lecture. I will see you guys in the next one.